Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios. Yes, we are here with you today for a special edition of the show. And unless you've been living under a rock, we are now in playoff time basketball, specifically the play-in tournament. And yeah, this week's Podium Show, if you haven't guessed it yet, is going to be on the NBA playoffs. We got the play-in games going on right now. And joining me today in this special edition of Rambling RunOff is Mr. Danny Tan, who swears he's never been on one of these, but I do not recall. So everybody, unless you're driving, please give a round of applause for Danny Tan. Danny, say what's up to the people.
What up, y'all? Yeah, I swear, I think we did, was it Olympics or, I think it was Olympics, maybe with NFL. I forget, but I did do a podium show with you.
Olympics with NFL. That doesn't make any sense because the podium show is only one topic.
It was a doubled up because it ended up being like the length of a regular podcast.
So it wasn't a podium show.
It was a podium show.
Nah,
we labeled it as a podium. We'll see. We'll see what it is.
All right, we'll see what it is too. I remember we did Olympics, but I could have sworn it was with something else, so it had to be a regular show, and it had to be before we changed the format.
Maybe it was. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Shaking my head, but yes, we are here today to talk about the NBA playoffs because that's Danny's bread and butter, and mine somewhat too. Growing up, I mean, Danny, you can attest that. Like, I've a good couple years, I was really into basketball as much as you
yes,
are.
sir.
I mean, I kind of fell off, but hey, we started this podcast. I'm kind of getting back into it here and there. We did March Madness, which was cool for a bit, but we're gonna be doing some NBA, and hope you guys enjoyed this special edition of the Podium Show, NBA playoffs. Danny, are you excited for
time.
Are you excited for your first Podium Show?
Oh, hell yeah. Of course. I'm always ready to dive into the NBA.
Okay, I mean, now you got a whole hour or so to talk about NBA. How does that sound to you?
Ooh, it's juicy. I love it.
Oh, okay, I mean, it doesn't have to be an hour, of course. This show has always been free form. It's been 2 hours, an hour and a half, hour. It's always been different. But of course, it's just one topic, all in one go.
Yeah, well, that was that 2 hour. That was a college football show with your friend, huh? I remember that.
Yeah, that was Daniel Tom. Shout out to him.
Shout out, Big T.
But yes, it's finally your turn to it's your turn to be in the spotlight.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Alrighty then. Are you ready to start this podium? Are you ready to stand on the podium and be first place or what?
Yes. Let's start it. Let's start the ceremony.
All right. So, first off, Danny, how do you feel about the play-in tournament and who is currently in the play-in tournament at the moment?
I like the format of the play-in. It really gives bottom teams, like something to work towards, rather than tanking. And it gives the fans, something a little more high stakes, especially for those bottom teams, like 7 and 8. Something to look forward to. It's kind of like the precursor to the playoffs. I guess to have to figure out still how the stats work because none of these stats count for anything. They don't count for the regular season. They don't count for the playoffs. So that's something that still got to be figured out. But no, I like it. There's some stakes to it. It kind of switches things up a bit. You're sitting at 7 and 8. Those lower seeded teams, you can't just say, all right, we're 8. Let's put it in the bench and see how it rolls. If you're fighting for that spot, you still have to play 1 or 2 more games to secure your spot at 7 or 8. What about you, Robert? What do you think?
I'm still getting a little used to it. I'm looking at it on my phone right now and like how the brackets would look, which is weird to say brackets. In NBA, I don't know. I mean, yeah, because looking at this Instagram post, they say NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel, and then it says play-in tournament. Oh no, I guess the play-in tournament is separate from the playoffs, which makes
Yeah,
no
yeah.
sense
The play-in
almost.
tournament is presented by AT&T,
Yeah,
not a
it's on
sponsor.
Instagram. Yeah, and not a sponsor, but yeah, it's a little odd. Can in the black section on this Instagram post, that's the playoffs, which begins April 15 on Saturday. So it's a little odd to me, but for the people that don't know, I'll read off the play-in tournament at the moment. As of this recording now, they've already been 2 games, which we'll get into. 3, if you count the one right now, that's probably going to end in a bit. Um, in the West, finishing in 10th, we had OKC, who is going to play the New Orleans Pelicans, who finished 9th.
Yep,
And then, as of this recording last night, we had the Lakers play the Timberwolves. The Lakers were the 7th seed, and the Wolves were the 8th seed. And the winner from the Laker and the Wolves game, uh, the winner moved on to play the Grizzlies on Sunday, I believe. And the Wolves, I guess somehow they made a loser bracket out of this, and they will play the winner of the 9th and the 10th seed of OKC and New Orleans.
yep,
In the Eastern Conference, in the 10th seed against the 9th, we have the Bulls and the Raptors, and in the higher echelon of the bottom bracket, in 7th we had the Heat, and 8th we had the Hawks. In which who won that game, Danny?
the Atlanta Hawks. As Shaq would say, oh,
Yeah,
go
so
Hawks.
the Hawks moved on to the playoffs to play the Celtics,
Yep,
and that's
as
where
the
we are
seventh
now.
seed.
So the Heat lost, so they're gonna play the winner of Raptors and Bulls.
Yep, yeah. So if that was unclear to anybody not very familiar with this new format, what'll happen every year is the seventh and eighth seed will battle for the seventh seed. So the winner of that matchup will secure the seventh seed. Then the ninth and tenth seeds will battle against each other, and they will face the loser of the previous matchup, 7 and 8, and whoever between the winner of 9-10 and the loser of 7-8, whoever wins that matchup becomes the eighth seed, and that will finalize the playoff bracket. No, it's a lot. It's easier if you look at a bracket. The little flowchart arrows will kind of simplify it for you, but that's that's the stakes of the play-in. What do you think of the teams that have made it into the play-in so far, Robert?
I would like to
Play-ins and playoff
apologize.
now.
Yeah, I would like to apologize for my explanation if that didn't make no sense because yeah, it is a bit confusing. Danny, I
Yeah.
want to go off track, but there's a movie called Basketball. It's from the creators of South Park, and
Oh,
they
basketball. That's
invent
funny.
they yeah, it's basically basketball and baseball combined somehow,
Yeah.
and shit talking.
Yeah. I
If
love
shit
it.
talking, basketball, and baseball were combined, this is what it would be. But
Amazing.
they it's basically a parody of sports movies, and there's a scene where they're trying to explain the playoff format, and it's like if the Southeastern beats the Pacific Northwest champion, and then those losers will go to the bottom losing bracket and play the Southern Division champion, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it makes no sense because there's like 60 teams.
Yeah. It's so funny when like you really try to explain sport when you're in it. It makes everything make sense. It's like
Yeah,
okay, oh, so the bracket ends up like this, and then these people play these people. But you ask a normal person who typically will tune in to maybe like a casual football fan, just a Super Bowl or whatever. Um, they tune in. They're like, wait, why did this team go through, and what happened to this team in the middle of the season, and whatever. It just makes no sense.
no, yeah. Sorry if we got a little sidetracked there, but you said what was my thoughts on the teams that made it into the playoffs or
Yeah,
into the play-in?
teams that made it into the play-in. Are they the teams that you thought would make it into these seeds? And those teams that have made it out already, in the Hawks and the LA Lakers, did you think that they would be in this position at the end of the regular season, or would they have clinched a spot, or did you think that they would be outside of the play-in?
Well, I guess if we're gonna dive into these games now, I think we should start in the East with the periodic of start.
Yeah, sure.
I know you're really into the Hawks right now, Danny. I know you're glad
Yes,
about that finish. What was the final score? Let me see. If you recall off the
yes.
top of your
I
head, I
believe
don't have it
it
written down,
was. I don't.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't have it off the top.
You don't even know it's your favorite team. You don't even know, bro. No, I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
know.
I got it.
Final score they
The
won.
final score was 116 to
To
105.
105. Oh,
Trey
so
Young
delicious.
finished the game with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Yep.
So,
Did,
I mean, the Heat looked. They kept it competitive. When I was watching the game, yeah, the Hawks were kind of keeping them, their distance, at least a 10-point lead. I mean, 116 to 105 isn't that big of a win in my opinion. But I mean, it's the Hawks. They were consistent enough to hold on to the lead the whole game, basically.
yeah.
But
The
yeah, I mean, you're the Hawks guy. What do you think about this game?
this game was a breath of fresh air in the Hawk season. This whole season they were sitting at 500. Really, they would win one, be above 500, lose one, be at 500, maybe go on a 2 game lose streak, be below, and then win again, be at 500, up, down, up, down, up, down, and they finished, I believe, just above 500, like 1 game above 500. But uh, this game was a breath of fresh air. In that typically during the regular season, the Hawks would do great, couple of quarters, gain a lead, throw it away in the third or the fourth, and then end up losing the game in the fourth quarter to a team that they should have never lost to, or a team that they were beating convincingly that they shouldn't have beat, like the Boston Celtics earlier in this season, and then throw the game away in the fourth when they had a commanding lead in the third quarter. So in this game, the only lead that the Heat had was a 2 point lead right in the beginning of the game. That was it. At one point, the Hawks led by 25. Um, the Heat were able to bring that lead down to 5, but it was a different pace of basketball that the Hawks have played when compared to the rest of the season. They played a little faster. They really took the Miami Heat blueprint, playing a little more transition basketball, speeding the ball up when a mistake was made, playing some scrappy defense. Uh, some great zone doubling out and running right back to your man when the extra pass is made. They copy and pasted it, and it worked. It really frustrated the Heat and gave Atlanta the win. So I'm really happy.
Well, I'm glad. I know. I love me some Jimmy Butler. Let me see. What was his stat line on the night? And because he likes my favorite soccer team too, by the way.
Uh, Jimmy Butler had 21 points,
Oh,
9 assists, and 4 rebounds
okay. Thank you,
with
sir.
a field goal percentage of 31.6. Ooh.
He was 6 of 19.
Yep, 6 of
I mean, their
19.
leading scorer was named Tyler Hero. He
Yep.
had 35 minutes. He was 12 of 23 from field goal,
Well,
2 of
well,
9 from 3-point range, 6 rebounds, 0 assists. PF. I don't know which one's PF, but okay. And then he had 26 points. What's PF?
what is
Never heard
PF?
of that one.
What do you mean, what is PF? I don't even know what stat you're looking at.
I don't know. It's on ESPN's app. What the
Oh,
hell is
personal
PF?
fouls.
Oh, personal fouls? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had 4 personal fouls. Well, the actual leading scorer was Kyle Lowry, who had an amazing game. 33 points,
Oh, off the
5
bench. I didn't even
assists. Yeah,
I didn't
coming
even
off the
see that.
bench. Yeah.
The hell?
He was
33
raining
minutes.
threes.
Yeah.
He had
He was 6 of 9.
6 of 9. All in great moments. When they really needed it. He was 68.8% from the field. Um, yeah, Kyle Lowry. As much shit that he gets from the fans of Miami for being older, for being slower, a little more injury prone, not as much of a playmaker that he was. He really came out and showed out, and the rest of the Heat were the ones who slipped away when the moment came. So I'm well, really, I could not care about the Heat less. I'm just glad that the Hawks made it out. Um, I mean, either way, whatever team ends up being 7 or 8 in the East, they're two tough matchups. So the Hawks are going to face the Boston Celtics. Is this the 7th seed versus the 2 seed, and the winner of 8 in the play-in will be facing the Milwaukee Bucks, which is a really tough matchup facing Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday. So
It sounds like an uphill battle.
yeah, I mean both teams are so tough. Celtics are a little more defensive minded. Um, they're a little bigger, a little lankier overall. But on the flip side, the Milwaukee Bucks are just solid. They they got great couple of bigs. They have great backup bigs. Their bench is pretty deep. It's just they're so solid. So uphill battle either way. I'm just glad that the Hawks were able to show that the Heat can't beat them all the time. You can't keep losing. I think they were they've lost. They had lost the last 13 games against the Heat every time they matched up. It's crazy. They just had Atlanta's number. They just had Trae Young's number. So I'm glad that with a little help from Coach Quinn Snyder, they were able to pull out the win against the Heat.
Basically, they were due for a win.
Yeah, long overdue against the Heat, definitely.
I mean,
Especially after that last year's first round elimination 5-1, or sorry 4-1, excuse me.
and it was against the Heat as well.
It was against the Heat in the first round. Yep.
And as of this recording, final in Toronto, the Chicago Bulls 109, Toronto Raptors 105. We'll get into that a little bit in the show.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the final score right now.
Yep. So the Bulls make it out of the 9-10 matchup. That means they will be facing the Miami Heat for the 8th seed.
There you go.
Yep.
But yeah, going back to the Heat and the Hawks game really quick. Get some more love to the Hawks that we kind of went over. So, besides Trae Young, who was the best player on the Hawks squad, Danny?
Oh, last night it was definitely Clint Capella. He dominated the offensive board. He only had I believe he only had 4 points on the night.
Yes.
But yeah, he had 21 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
He killed the Miami Heat on the offensive boards. He had, I mean, he only attempted 3 shots yet, but he was 2 of 3. He had 6 assists. Oh, excuse me, 1 assist. Wait, what? That seems so low. Clint Capella, he only had 1 assist.
Yeah,
Off of all those offensive boards.
I was gonna say I think the bench players did better than the starters.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dejounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray is a starter.
He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. DeJounte kind of faded away. He didn't shoot as efficiently as he normally does, shooting only 43%. But that's not, that's not to say that the Hawks needed him to shine and they would have lost without him. The story of this game was how deep the bench was for the Atlanta Hawks. Bogdanovich, came off the bench. Sadiq Bey, Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, they all came off the bench with double-digit points. Everybody contributed last night. So I guess this really showed how shallow the Miami bench was. They really had to keep their starters in, and the Hawks really gave it to them as soon as they put out Jimmy Butler, as soon as they put out Bam Adebayo to give him some rest. The Hawks really turned it up and said, all right, if you're putting these guys out, then we're really going to hammer you and build this lead up so that we cannot lose when you guys come back in. And that's exactly what they did.
I mean, Jimmy Butler is a workhorse. I remember and I've probably said it before, in that 2020, 2021 pandemic games when the Heat were playing the Lakers, and he was exhausted.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler transforms into Jimmy Buckets when the playoffs come around. I think last year in that Atlanta Miami series, he averaged nearly 40 points. I think he averaged like 39 if he didn't average 40 points against the Hawks. It was crazy, and he did the same thing against Boston. He was dropping buckets as if he was born to do it. I mean, it's incredible what he does in the postseason. He really is made for those moments. But yeah, it didn't show up last night. Maybe we'll see something different when the Heat match up against the Bulls. But yeah, the Hawks really pulled through, and I think even if they get a first round exit, whatever, That it really shows a new brand of basketball that Quinn Snyder and the Atlanta Hawks are building. They're moving the ball a lot quicker. They're playing some scrappier defense. Um, they're learning how to play zone and play defense a little hard, little smarter, not harder. And that those extra passes and that fight to get those offensive boards and have those points in the paint. It's really showing that the team is developing a culture and a system that's going to be tough for, I think, most teams, especially teams that play small ball like Miami did last night. Um, it's going to be really tough for them to beat the Hawks next year.
Well, we want to talk about this year, not next year, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Even if the Hawks make it past the Celtics in the first round,
I know it's gonna be a
you know,
tough.
it's
The
it's
Celtics. I wouldn't say I know any notable players, but I know they play really, really tough.
oh yeah, they're one of the top defensive teams in the league. You got former defensive player of the year Marcus Smart on there. You got, you know, two triggers in Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. You got a bigger big than Clint Capella with Robert Williams III. Um, Malcolm Brogdon as possibly sixth man of the year. Peyton Pritchard and Dragic. Excuse me, Dragic is from Chicago. Um, but their bench is really deep. They got a lot of 3-and-D guys. Derek White. It's a real tough matchup for a team that's so deep with so many offensively minded players and defensively minded players, and like Marcus Smart, who can still be um, an offensive source when you need it.
So basically, they have a good mixture of offensive, defensive, and two-way players. Basically,
Yeah, I mean, almost every guy on the Celtics team is a two-way. But I don't know. The Hawks have a chance. I don't think they're going to be swept. Might be a gentleman's sweep. Might go to 6. Hopefully, it'll go to 6. Uh, I'm rooting for my Hawks. Hopefully, they're able to pull out a miracle. But it's a tough battle. It's a tough battle against the Celtics.
okay. I think that's mostly it for me. I didn't really get to watch most of this game because I was a little busy myself. But
Hmm.
do you have anything else to add in regards to the Heat and the Hawks game?
Yeah, just as a last note, if the Hawks are able to play this pace of basketball, kind of adapt what the Heat do so well, especially in this playoff time, frustrate their opponents defensively, get a bunch of transition buckets, steal those offensive boards, turn them into second chance points, um, they're going to be a real problem in the playoffs and next year, especially when they're able to develop this system and really maybe make a couple moves in the offseason, get another great backup big. Not that Okongwu is not a great backup big, but someone who is a lanky 4 that's able to stretch the floor a little bit more. Um, when John Collins or DeAndre Hunter sit out, they're going to be a real scary team next year. Um, yeah, I'm excited for how far they go this year in the playoffs and what they have for us in store next year, next
Just to
season,
let
I
you
should
know,
say.
fun fact: Okonwu. I don't think that's how you say it, but
Onyeka
um,
Okongwu. That's it. That's how you say
yeah,
it.
he went to USC.
Oh, he's
I,
a USC boy. I did not know that he was a Trojan.
I can recall when I used to work at a specific internship of mine interviewing the basketball coach, and I remember him saying he was good when we needed to throw the ball into the paint and just have him slam the ball into the bucket.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a great big. He's able to get some blocks. He had 4 blocks on the night. A big defensive guy. He knows where to be. He knows how to jump. The timing of it. And he's been working on his jump shot all summer, and it really paid off this year. You can see 83% field goal percentage. Not to say that some of those were just lobs that he tossed in, counting as a field goal, but he's a great big and a great backup big to Clint Capella.
Okay. So yes, moving on now in our fantastic podium show of NBA play-in tournament playoffs. Uh, in a game that I was able to watch a the last good portion of it, we had the Lakers hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves, in which at some point when I saw the scoreline, I said, "Oh crap, I think they're done," and I think they were down 86-69. Hey,
Yeah,
and I was like, it was the halfway through the third, and I was like, knowing the Lakers throughout all season long, they would struggle, especially when they were down big, and that was it. And
yeah,
then at which point, I was notified by a friend of mine saying, "Hey, the Lakers are coming back." And I said, "What?" And immediately went to the nearest TV, and in an exciting fashion, got to see a dramatic end to a game that I don't think should have ended in this way, but it did because they're the damn Lakers of today and not of Kobe and Magic Johnson, unfortunately. And of course, they make you give a heart attack, as every LA team has done recently. So yeah, in a very dramatic fashion, the Lakers won 108-102, as we've stated in the bracketology,
yeah.
starting off the
In
show.
overtime, nonetheless.
Yeah, so I don't know what the hell these guys were smoking, but the Lakers somehow, some way, got the dub. Um, I think we should just jump into the end. 'Cause I feel like the ending is what kind of triggered this
Yeah,
whole game, right, Danny?
yeah.
Um,
Can I make one comment before we jump into that fantastic finish
yes, of course. Go.
to a sloppy basketball game? Um, that it should have never been that close. The Timberwolves lost two of their best defensive guys in Rudy Gobert and Jalen McDaniels. Rudy Gobert punching his own teammate like an idiot, and Jalen McDaniels showing that he's inexperienced, frustrated. There's something going on with that Minnesota team that is not seen by the public. Um, he punched a wall, breaking his own hand. So this Minnesota team
Oh
took
my
themselves
gosh.
out
What?
before the game. Even did you not know that
No. I knew
Jalen
about the
McDaniels is
fight.
a starter? He usually starts at the two, sometimes at the three. He broke his hand walking to the tunnel, walking back to the locker room, punching the
He,
wall
he broke his hand
in
all pissed off,
frustration.
huh?
Yeah, he was
Fucking idiot.
frustrated. Yeah, but there's something going on with that Minnesota team to have your teammates fighting each other and your best defensive player. There's no doubt about it. Jalen McDaniels, he's probably going to get some votes for defensive player of the year still. Um, being so frustrated that he punched a wall and broke his own hand. Like that team is on. I don't know, man. They're hanging by a silk string.
A, a shoestring. Silk
Yeah,
string. What'd you
silk
say?
string. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's even less strong than a
By
shoestring.
a thread.
No, no, no. A thread is too strong. But
Okay. A weed.
by weed, sure.
A
How about that?
weed, like a grass weed that's growing that will get
Sure.
demolished by a weed whacker.
They're hanging on by one of those skinny floaters that you see in your eye sometimes when you look up at the light. Um, but they should have never even gotten close to winning that game. Minnesota should have been in a deficit from the first quarter, just like that Hawks game. They should have been in a deficit for the first quarter and never have even gotten close up until the end of the fourth. But back to that fantastic finish, which is basically the best part of that super sloppy game that was so low scoring at the end of regulation. Uh, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know
Where
how
you
it
want to
ended up
start?
at.
I didn't get to see like the beginning part of the game, but that
Yeah,
ending was just bonkers. If
yeah.
we're being honest,
Oh yeah.
because
I mean,
you have, like how you said, a a a lightweight Timberwolves team. I don't want to say
oh yeah,
diminished, but what would you call a? In I'm not saying this in a mean way, but a handicapped Minnesota team,
yeah. Bandaged
one-handed.
up. How about that? Yeah,
No, not
one
bandages,
handed.
like
Sure.
they're missing pieces.
Yep.
And then you got a Lakers squad who, not until what's his name, D'Angelo Russell showed up, turned on the afterburners and started winning some games. They got a few back-to-back wins. This is how they got into this. They almost made it into the regular playoffs,
Yeah.
but of course they're the Lakers. They had to slip up at some point. And then, of course, and modern times, Lakers fashion, they almost screwed the pooch with it, which if it happened, I wouldn't have been surprised. I just would have been very disappointed. So we come into the fourth, the Lakers are charging. No, let's see, second half of the third quarter, the Lakers are charging into the fourth, chipping away at
Yep.
the lead because the Wolves just froze to death and we're
Yeah.
not making no shots.
No, they
And we
made
get into the
nothing.
fourth. Yeah, they were making nothing. I mean, kudos to the Lakers who I think were playing really hard man to man, which as someone
Oh
that
yeah.
liked playing defense and like as a kid, and I know you could back me up on this, like they were like not playing aggressive, but they're playing like smart defensive basketball. Just pick your man, don't fall for any fakes, just follow him, and anybody behind you will back you up.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were
And
able to contain them so you couldn't get no easy buckets getting into the paint, especially when you had Mr. Glass AD, standing in line and doing his job finally.
yep. Yeah.
And then so what halfway through the fourth, the Lakers just finally break the deadlock. They're going back and forth. Well, I wouldn't say back and forth on the lead. They started taking the lead, but then of course, what with like 2-3 minutes left, silly turnovers were costing them chances to close out the game.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll just jump to it. The Lakers, with like about a minute left, called timeout, turn over the ball, and then I think this is the one where I was talking to you off the podcast, right? Where LeBron dives for the ball
Yep.
and just by coincidental contact takes out his opponent, the dude with the dreads. I forgot his name.
Yeah. Torian Prince.
And they call a foul. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. I could see it's a 50-50 ball. The ball is loose. It's
Yeah.
going into the backcourt.
Yes. And
LeBron
LeBron
dives
won
for it.
possession.
Yeah. And he did win possession. He didn't have full control of the ball, but that's because they blew the whistle. But I think what the refs were trying to argue was that LeBron dived for the ball when Torian Prince was past it already, and he had no chance of getting the ball. I think that's what they're trying to say. I think, and at the end of the day, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to call this foul to prevent injury because when LeBron dove for the ball, he took out the legs of Torian Prince, who was
Yeah, but that was after he won
halfway in a
possession.
dive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That doesn't make
yeah,
no sense. And the ball was still in play. It was kind of like almost like a football, soccer style play where it's body contact and you just ran into each other. It's not a
yeah,
foul. Where's their foul? Even the commentators didn't even say anything about it. Like, it's a foul. Like,
yeah.
what?
No,
Like, they
make
didn't
no
sound
mistake.
confident.
They should have let them play on. They
Yes.
definitely should have let it play on.
That's what
But
I'm just like, and then to continue, I think the Lakers had a foul to give. So,
yes, they did.
and then somehow, some way, turn the ball over again when the because I think the Wolves didn't get nothing out of it. And then
No.
I'm trying to it's all like a blur in my head now.
Yeah. No, Minnesota turned the ball over in that inbound play
Okay, and then
to
the
give it back
Lakers
to
got
the
the
Lakers.
ball, in
Yep.
which I was thinking, okay, there's like 20 seconds left, no, 30 seconds or whatever. Run a decent play because the Lakers started getting cold too. Because did you notice that like AD was trying to shoot outside the paint, LeBron
Yeah.
was shooting bricks. Everybody was shooting bricks, trying to shoot 3-pointers, and I think LeBron finally hit one, and he tried hitting another 3, and that one missed. I was like, dude, I'm like telling the people around me, I'm like, why don't they just run a play? I mean, and I'm being told, well, why are you gonna run a play? I'm like, dude, both teams are not making anything. There's no point on any fast break points at this time.
Yeah, you got to
Just
get those easy buckets.
Yes. So I'm like, oh, AD, like he was in the paint getting shots and he tried to take a shot from outside. It's like, no, like don't do that. You guys are all missing. Like everyone was missing. Like I think the T-Wolves, I think prior to the free throws, which I'm gonna get to in a bit, made 0
Yep.
points in the fourth. Because they
Yeah,
started being sloppy with the
no.
ball too. I forgot. I don't remember. There was this guy. He has a receding hairline, curly hair. I think LeBron or Schroeder was guarding him.
Talking about Kyle
And
Anderson,
maybe I don't remember.
number 6.
He had fumbled the ball. He let the ball bounce off like his thigh into the
Oh,
backcourt.
yeah. Yeah, after AD AD picked him up a little bit outside of the 3-point line.
I think that's probably what happened after the LeBron foul. I think I don't remember. I'm sorry if my memory fails me right now. But also I
Yeah,
was like, oh, cool, the Lakers got a chance, and I think that's what led to Schroeder, which finally they ran a play, and I thought, damn it,
yeah,
they're gonna let fucking
uh,
LeBron shoot the final shot, and no, I think LeBron, I forgot, I think he passes it or he has it and he launches it outside
yeah,
towards the Wolves bench where a standing Schroeder wide open sinks a 3-pointer with like 1 point nothing on the clock.
yeah. I think the clock froze at 1.6, but I don't even think that was a play. I think the play was for um LeBron to do a pick and roll with Davis passing it out to a three. But when LeBron he drove in, saw that three defenders came to stop him, saw Schroeder open out by the bench, kicked it out to him, and this was the same shot that Schroeder had missed like 3 plays ago. I remember
That
that
is
shot
true.
because like almost 2 plays in a row, it was Schroeder, it was Reeves, and it was D'Lo, almost from
And
the same spot, missing all
they all
three.
missed. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
when
I
he
think
tossed it out,
because
I
the
said, "Oh
Wolves were
Lord,
laying
this
them
game is
open like
over."
that. That's why.
Yeah. Right. When he got the ball in his hand, I said, "This game is over. He's not going to make it." And as soon as it left his hand, that shot was so pure, you knew it was going in. The announcers
It was
even
like
called it before
it was like
before it
one of
went
those
into
movie
the net.
shots, like, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh damn,
Birdie.
he actually made it.
Yeah, this was this is what the playoffs are about. That game winner, Schroeder, after missing it, the Lakers missing that same 3-point shot 3 times in a row. Schroeder having missed it a couple plays ago,
Three
gets a second
times in a row.
chance.
They missed like 10 shots in a row. You kidding me?
Yeah, but you know what I mean, from the same spot
No, yeah, it was
almost.
pretty. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But yes, continue, please.
Yeah, this is what the playoffs are about. The moment. This is it wasn't an elimination game, but you win, you get rewarded with playing against the Memphis Grizzlies rather than the number one seed, the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and you play
And he
Sunday,
hit it
not Friday.
exactly. You get another day of rest, as the Lord giveth. Just kidding. But
But of course, Danny, this
yeah,
game did not end like that.
no, it did not. So Dennis Schroeder sinks that shot. T Wolves call a timeout. They move it to the other side of the floor. They scramble when the inbound comes in, nearly losing it. Uh, where does it go? Ends up in Mike Conley's hands. The old point guard, the old vet, in the corner, wide open three. Takes the shot. Anthony Davis closing out to contest. The shot goes way wide.
It
Nearly
hits the
hits the back of
backboard.
the top of the
It hits.
backboard. Nearly
It
hits
hits
the
the
top.
backboard.
Right. Yeah, it hits the side though. If it hit the top, it would have been out of bounds. It would have expired, right? Um, but Anthony Davis, it seemed like he was a college kid again. All of a sudden, he kind of like reverse hugs, turns around, pushes his booty out to see where the ball went, fouls Mike Conley by not giving him space to land.
His hand. He didn't know
Yeah,
where his hand was going.
no, come on, no. His butt is what pushed Mike Conley out of the way.
No, yeah, but
Literally,
he
he
made
turned.
contact with his shooting hand as well. Also, I was like, oh,
No,
dude, all you had to do
I
is
think
run past him.
no, I think the foul was crowding the shooter's landing space. That's what the foul was.
He did also
It
hit
was
his hand
before
as
he
well.
landed. Yeah, yeah, but it was incredible. So wide, the shot goes wide. Mike Conley now has to shoot 3 3-pointers. If he misses one, the game is lost. What does he do? First one, looks short, hits the front of the rim, slides in. Second shot, pure. Third shot, sweatiest hands in the goddamn building, I bet. Sinks in with, I believe it was like zero point 0.6 seconds left or 0.1 second, something like that. Um,
Yeah, it was
at
like
the
point
end,
one.
yeah, 0.1. The inbound it, we're going to OT.
I think it's because they legally the league. I mean, it's not like football or like soccer. They
Yeah, you
legally
can't
have
have
it.
zero
So
on the clock
yeah,
after a penalty. Yeah.
and dude, that first one, dude, he was shitting bricks because yeah, it
Oh,
hit
I
off the
know.
front part of the rim and
It
bounced
looked
in
so
basically.
short. I thought that was the game. When it hit the front of the rim, I said, "Oh, he hit short. That's it. It's over." But it's one of those shots where it hits at the front. It doesn't hit clean on the front. It hits at the top edge corner, and it slides past and it bounces right in. But man, It was
I
so
mean, I
close.
think he was 7 of 9 from the field goal line as well. I think,
Yeah,
if I remember. And that's why
those
they were like,
three.
"Oh, you should have made these." And yeah, I was like, once I saw that stat line, I was like, "Fuck,
Yeah, and those
he's
three
gonna
free
sink
throws
these."
were the first free throws that Mike Conley had taken all night. So those three were the
Oh, okay,
first
never
three
mind.
and the only three that he took all night. No, he was seven
Yeah.
of 9 from the field. You're right.
Oh, okay, there
But
you go. Oh, of the field or from free throw range?
from the field, because
Oh,
those
okay,
three were
alright.
the only free throws he took all night.
Oh, okay, then yeah, he had somewhat of a hot hand then.
No, he was hot.
The
Oh
I know,
yeah,
yeah,
he was
I know, but
crazy.
I know, I was talking about free throw line though.
No.
You say from okay, from field goal range. Okay,
From field goal
yeah.
range, yeah,
So I
from the
mean, he
field.
probably should have been shitting bricks, low key though.
Oh
I
yeah,
would have been.
yeah.
I mean, it
But
was a good competitive game, but I'm pretty sure, like,
yeah,
yeah,
at the
dude,
end
sweaty,
it was
sweaty.
not. Yeah, and then in OT, you really saw the Timberwolves fall apart. Um, and there was something frustrating me the whole game, especially the second half. I should say, not the whole game. The first half, Carl Anthony Towns looked so good. He looked like he was putting his best impression of Jokic on. Big man, creating shots, being a threat, a shooting threat. Still taking it to the rim here and there. I wish he had taken it to the rim a little bit more. But Anthony Davis is such a strong defensive player. I understand why he was afraid to go to the rack. Um, but in that fourth and into overtime, they gave Karl Anthony Towns no respect, and he gave him a reason to say that they were absolutely correct to say that he was not going to end up with the ball in his hand. There were several plays where they switched tiny guys onto that 7-footer. They switched Dennis Schroeder onto him. They switched Austin Reeves onto him. Um, he had Vanderbilt on him, who's not that small, but Karl Anthony Towns is a big guy. He should be rolling to the rack as soon as he. Excuse me. He should be rolling to the rack as soon as he sees somebody below his eyesight, which is almost everybody on the floor except for Anthony Davis. Right? Especially, there are a handful of plays where Anthony Edwards at the top of the key, Mike Conley at the top of the key, were looking for people to pass it to. He should have been posting up as soon as the switch happened, but he wasn't even looking at the ball. He was rolling out to the corners. He was coming up to the top to try to grab it again. Stay inside. You're huge. Stay inside, post up. That's what he should have done. And I was disappointed. Well, not disappointed because I wanted the Lakers to win, but it's frustrating to see the play that should be made. And for some reason, whatever it is, it's just Karl Anthony Towns being Karl Anthony Towns. He failed to show up in the fourth quarter. He was in foul trouble. For some reason, he just didn't have the confidence, and it really showed.
I think because what it was, he got that 5th foul, and it
Yeah, he got
kinda
that
took him
fifth
out of the
foul in the
game.
fourth. Yep.
But yeah, like, he did kinda disappear. I'm like, "Damn, like, I heard this food was good," and I mean, I'll read you his stat line 'cause I'm pretty good at that. He was 8 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. He had 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He had the 5 fouls and 24 points. Behind him was who's Conley? Mike Conley? Is that his
Yep,
name?
Mike Conley.
He came up behind him with 23 points, 2 fouls, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds in 44 minutes. What's his name? Ty Prince? Is that his name?
Torian Prince.
Torian Prince, 14 points. Anderson and was 12. This was the starters. And then Edwards had 9. And
Yeah.
nothing
A
really from the
horrible
bench.
night for Anthony Edwards.
Nothing from the bench except for Alexander something.
Yeah, Alexander Walker.
He had 11 points. And then Noel.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Jerlings Noel.
No, Jalen Noel. He had 9
Jalen.
points. Yeah.
Is that Jerlings Noel?
No. It's number 4.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Jalen Noel.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. There's nothing really on. If I go to the Lakers, I mean, you have LeBron was 30, Davis was 24, then Shorter off the bench was 21, which comes in clutch, and then what the hell is this? Hachimura.
Rui Hachimura. What? Who is Rui Hachimura?
What in
Rui
the
Hachimura is the greatest pickup in the Lakers season so far.
what in
You're
the
crazy.
South Park? What in the South Park shitty walk name is this?
Rur Hachimura, the Black Samurai, half black, half Japanese, the first
Yeah,
Japanese-born Laker.
I mean the Lakers used to have an Asian guy on their team before a long time ago.
Yeah, but this guy was born in Japan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's huge. He's huge for the Lakers. He's a
Man,
great
12
3-and-D
points.
guy. He really runs for the ball. He's great in transition. He
He's
was,
six
and we got
eight.
him. Yeah, he's a great big guy.
And wait, how did the Lakers get him? Can you continue that? How about
Yeah, they got him for nothing. They traded the Washington Wizards for Kendrick Nunn, and I think 1 or 2 second-round picks. They got him for nothing. He and Kendrick Nunn wanted out of the Lakers and the Washington Wizards, their respective teams, and it worked out for the Lakers more than it did for the Wizards. But he was a great pickup. He started the transition to the current Laker team before the rest of the guys joined right at the end of the trade deadline.
He is from Gonzaga, and that's all I can tell you about him.
Yeah, I mean
Oh, and
he's
he's
been a
our
great pickup.
age, Danny.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's
Got
25.
25.
Yeah,
Damn.
his birthday, according to ESPN app, um, February 8th, 1998. He's 6'8",
Wow.
230 pounds.
Jesus, happy birthday.
Let me
Sheesh.
see.
Yeah,
Where is who? Let me see. Where is
but
Mr. I don't see him on
I
here. Where's Delangelo? Oh, he's right
D'Angelo,
here. He
what are
had
you talking
2
about?
points. He got hurt, didn't he? Is that what
Y-
happened?
No,
He
I think
picked
he
it
was
up or
just
not?
cold.
He
He
was
was
just
cold all night.
cold because
Yeah.
I didn't see him on the floor until like that final play.
No, what are you talking about? He played 23 minutes.
Yeah, 23 minutes. Danny, they went into overtime. 23 minutes ain't nothing.
Yeah, because they needed someone who played defense. They had Dennis Schroeder
Yeah,
in much longer.
that is true. I did see a lot. I saw a lot of Schroeder. I saw a lot of Reeves. You saw a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
needed.
LeBron. You saw a lot of AD.
Yep. Yeah, they needed more defensive guys. Schroeder provides a greater drive kick threat. Not to say that D'Lo is not a great playmaker. You know, he's great at passing and whatnot, but you have LeBron on the floor. You know, as a floor general, it's gonna go into LeBron's hands first. Then it'll move to Anthony Davis, and perhaps someone else. But Dennis Schroeder was that driving kick threat that really made Minnesota have to close their zone and force them into man defense, which opened up a lot of other people when the Lakers were able to make that extra pass.
Yeah, it was
Um,
his movement off the ball that was killing them.
yeah, I know for a fact the front office was really kicking themselves when they watched Mike Conley go so hot that night.
Was that the guy that
Um,
was shooting all the 3-pointers? Or am I thinking of a different guy?
yes, yeah. I mean, well, Mike Conley went
He
uh,
went 6 of 8 from the 3-point
six of
line.
eight. Yep, he went 6 of 8 from three. Um, whereas Malik Beasley, who also came from that same Utah team, went.
What Utah team?
That's funny.
Are you taking a deep cut?
Uh,
You said Utah.
yeah, they
You mean
both came from
Minnesota?
Utah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Second.
No,
Did I miss something?
they they both came from Utah before the trade deadline.
Oh, okay, second.
Where
My
Mike
bad, my bad.
Conley went to Minnesota and Malik Beasley came to the Lakers.
Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know the ins and outs like Danny. I apologize. Hey, this
Yeah, but
Vanderbilt guy
Malik,
didn't do jack shit.
yeah, Vanderbilt is a defensive guy. He affects the game in different ways, man. He's that Draymond Green type of player. He's that Alex Caruso type of player.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
Alex Caruso and Draymond Green actually do shit.
whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, how you dare you disrespect Vando like that?
22 minutes, 0 and 2 from the lot from field goal. Missed 1 3-pointer. Had 3
Yeah,
rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 foul. No points.
yeah, but
At least get a
I know it's
bucket, dude. At least D'Angelo Russell had 2 points on the night.
yeah.
He went 1 of
Vando
9. That was pretty bad though.
Vando is he's like that. He's like a Pat Bev type of player. You send him onto the other team's best guy. He was guarding Anthony Edwards most of the night to frustrate him. He's long, he's lanky, he's quick. He'll follow you all the way to the rim. He'll protect not just you or he'll guard not just you, he'll guard the pass that you're looking at. He's that type of player, and that's why he started. That's why he got 20, 22 minutes. But the reason he didn't get more minutes is exactly what you're saying. He's not an offensive. He's not even a real offensive threat. Here and there, he'll shoot a three. Here and there, he gets a putback, whatever. But you need someone with a little bit more offensive firepower. At the very least, I mean, I know they're still wrapping up Mo Bamba, and hopefully he gets strong enough and is recovered enough to get back in the game. But Mo Bamba, I think, is a great. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
the Lakers picked him up, right?
Yeah, they picked
that
him up at the
wasn't a
trade
dream?
deadline. No. Yeah, they picked him up at the trade deadline. He's been injured here and there. He was serving his suspension for that fight with Austin Rivers before he got traded. So we didn't get to see much of him in a Lakers uniform in the regular season. Hopefully, we'll see more of him in the postseason. But he is another player that could be great defensively, provide a little bit of offensive power in terms of offensive boards, making that extra pass, putbacks. But we'll see if he's able to come off the bench and provide a little bit of rest for Anthony Davis as a true backup center. But the Lakers did okay in OT. They came out.
Okay, the hell are you talking about? They outplayed them. They continued their hot streak going in from the fourth, and yeah, the Wolves they had no answer in my opinion in the OT. You
In
just saw
OT, you're right. They had no
they just
offensive answer.
yeah, there was no
But
answer. It was just like
it
if
should
I
have
were the
never gone
Lakers.
to OT.
Yeah, I know it should not. You are correct. I agree with you 102,000%. That was just a stupid knucklehead decision by Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis, trying to block a foul when you see even when that guy stood up to take his shot, his legs were crippling under him. He was basically almost basically out of bounds at this point. And I'm like, and when I saw he hit the backboard, I was like, oh, that's it. And then oh no, there's a foul. It's like, oh, dude, like I don't want to get. I'm just heated. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just glad that the Lakers were able to stick it out, and they got into a good hot streak in the game, and hopefully now they could take it to who they playing again? They are playing
Grizzlies, Memphis
the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies against your homie, your John Morant. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be an interesting matchup.
man.
But do you have anything to add on in regards to this Laker game? It's Laker win, I should say.
This was the worst game out of the two last night. The Hawks showed much better composition, better coaching, really dismantling the Heat. But this game was so sloppy. This Laker team's game, it was like watching. It was like watching a summer league basketball game, like a practice game. LeBron was throwing up sloppy shots here and there. Anthony Davis getting frustrated, taking jump shots when he should be driving to the rim. He's not. He's just as big as Karl Anthony Towns. He's a little bit longer. He should be bullying Karl Anthony Towns down under. Karl Anthony Towns is a foul machine. You should have had him pick up those fouls way earlier. Take him out of the equation in the first half. Build up that lead. Do the same in the third quarter. When he comes in the fourth, have him foul out. Like this, that should have been the plan from the beginning. And they were lucky that Anthony Edwards was cold. I'm sure in the next day or so, if it hasn't come out already, they're going to say that he was injured. Maybe he had like a sprained shoulder. Or, he took a hard fall early on in the game. Maybe they'll say that. The same could be said for Dennis Schroeder, who kind of rolled his ankle, stepping onto his teammate. I think he was stepping onto Vanderbilt on accident. Stepped onto his shoe.
I mean, he hit that almost game-winning shot.
Yeah. Anthony Davis stole that game-winning shot from him.
And he did. I mean, he apologized after
he did.
the interview. I'm pretty sure if they were to have lost, he should have still apologized to him, like, yo, bro, I fucked it up.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Definitely.
Like you can't be doing that, bro. Like that was
Yeah,
very
but
unprofessional. I mean, playing. I don't mean like personal or like how would you say like attitude wise. It's just physically wise. Like yeah, mentally that was not a professional move
yeah,
to
but
to attack the guy like that.
yeah, that it wasn't the worst play of the night. It happened at the worst moment, but
Yes,
um, yeah, that was a really stupid play.
but all right. Moving on now in our programming. So I know I don't know. Were you able to catch some of the game that just concluded that I mentioned earlier, or no? The Bulls and the Raptors, or no?
Yes, yes, I was. Uh,
Okay. I mean, we could go over it
the
very quickly. Of course, I didn't get
yeah,
to see
real
any of
quickly,
this,
the
but
Raptors were in a commanding lead
yeah, they were
almost the
winning, right?
entirety of
I'm
the
not
game.
tripping. I
No,
wasn't
they
tripping before
were
I came on here. I saw the Raptors were up by like 15 at least, maybe
Fred
12ish,
Van
maybe.
Fleet, Jakob Pertl were really OG Anunoby were really giving it to the Bulls. Um, but the Bulls more experience, still lacking Lonzo Ball. Um, Zach LaVine popped off. I think he had 38 points on the night. Um, we can definitely pull up those stats.
You
He
said Zach.
had
Well, I'll
Zach
go into
LaVine.
the loser side of the stat line.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
Sikam,
Yeah.
who is this?
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal. Oh, Siakam. Excuse me. He
Yep.
finished the night 32 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, 13 of 22 overall. Then we had OG
OG
Anobi,
Anunoby. Yep.
13 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 of 13, which is kind of bad. I guess yeah, I think the 3 pointers kind of helped him out. Barnes, Scotty Barnes,
Scotty Barnes.
19 points, 2 assists, 10 rebounds. Pretty good. You're like he went 1 of 2 from 3 point range. Who is this guy? Jacob
Jacob Pertl.
Purtle?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's Jakob Pertl is how you say it.
Okay. 7 points. Not much. 37 minutes though.
Yeah. I mean, Jakob Pertl is another one of those guys where he frustrates people. He as a center, he's really the reason that people don't attack the rim. Um, that's why Pascal
He's
Siakam.
7'1", bro.
Yeah,
245.
he's a big guy.
He's nearly our age as well. He's 27.
Dude, stop with that, man. Just makes you feel bad.
We could have made it in high school, bro. We just didn't practice hard enough.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah. I'm also missing like 12 inches.
I mean, you're taller than me. If that makes you
Yeah,
feel
I'm
better.
not even 6 feet.
Let me
I
see.
couldn't even be a small guard.
Fred Van
Um,
Fleet, who looks
Fred Van
short
Vliet,
on
yep.
TV, but in
But
comparison to that fool, the other fool, no.
yeah, okay, he
Um,
had a great night.
he had a 26 points, 8 assists, and 12 rebounds.
12 rebounds.
Almost a triple double.
For a
8 of
guard. Great
22,
night.
7 of 13 from 3 point range. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Off the bench, there wasn't nothing much. Yeah, there was nothing much from the bench. What the hell?
No.
I'm not even
Precious
gonna read this.
Achua with 6 points, 4
Yeah.
rebounds.
Oh, I was gonna say don't even read. That's not even worth reading anything. What the hell?
Yeah.
These guys didn't do shit.
I mean, and
Trent Jr.
that
played
really
17 minutes.
that goes to show you how shallow this bench was. I mean, they've gotten eliminated already, but the starters are really all that Toronto has, which is so surprising that in the trade deadline they didn't get shopped around or extensions haven't been signed yet. I mean, I believe Fred Van Fleet and OG Anunoby have their contracts up this summer. They'll be free agents. Um, maybe they're just waiting for a supermax or as big of a contract as they can get. But the Toronto team is great with their starters are amazing. Their bench, I mean, Gary Trent can drop a bunch of points. Precious Chua, I think, is a great backup big. Chris Boucher, another great backup big, but they're just a little inconsistent. Gary Trent Jr. is probably the most consistent coming off the bench. Thaddeus Young is great too, but he's still. I mean, as his name says, he's a young guy. They need more. They need a deeper bench.
Are you talking about the T Young that's on this stat line that
T
says
Young, yeah, Thaddeus
DNP?
Young, yeah, he
He
didn't
didn't
play
even
that game.
play.
Yeah, but in the regular season, he's a young guy. If you invest time into him, really build him up, he'll do great for you.
Yeah, his stat line for the season is dog water. 4.4 points, 3
Yeah,
rebounds, 1
yeah,
assist,
yeah.
54%.
That's what I'm saying. The Toronto bench needs some help.
Yeah, he's old. Or I can tell you, he's 34, Danny.
He's 34. What?
Yes, he's
I
born
thought he was 28.
1988. You said
Oh my
Thaddeus Young.
god. Yes. I
Oh
thought he
yeah,
was younger
dude.
than that.
This bench sucks.
Damn, I thought he still had 2 more years to hit his prime. Oh whoa. Damn, I
Sorry
thought
for
he was
your
a young guy.
earjumps, but yeah, that made me laugh.
No. But
You're
yeah,
thinking of
their
somebody
bench
else
is
then.
definitely lacking. Um,
Are you sure?
Chicago isn't
Well,
in any better of a situation, but their stars are bigger stars, I
what do you
believe.
mean?
A little more
P. Williams
consistent.
had 10 points. Patrick Williams had 10 points off the night.
Yeah, Patrick Williams had 10 points. Kobe White had 9. That's it.
Yeah, and
Right.
it was Drummond. Andre
Andre
Drummond
Drummond.
had hit a measly 2 points.
Yeah.
But
Come on.
the stars of the night were the starters for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Zach Levine had 39 points, 3 assists,
Monstrous 39 points.
6 rebounds, 12 of 22 overall, 40 minutes. Behind him was DeMar DeRozan with the 23 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds,
And 4
10 of
blocks.
19. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, 2 blocks.
yeah,
Excuse me.
2 blocks.
I was
Sorry,
reading yeah, 2 blocks. Yeah.
okay, I don't have it's not showing me all of them on the app right here. But yeah, that's good to know. 2 blocks.
Yep.
Which by the way, going back to the Laker game real quick. Hey, they shut them down so much that the Lakers just ended up blocking all their shots, by the way.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, defense, I think that was the trend of last night. Defense was coming in
Yeah.
clutch.
Defense turns into offense.
Yeah.
Every commentator says every game,
I think
defense
that's
to
what we're seeing
offense,
today as
taking
well.
it coast to coast. It's what the game is today.
Yeah. I was
I
like,
mean,
that's what I was
it's
saying.
what the
like,
game is and has been, but it really was shown off last night.
no, it's
And it's
mostly
today.
been offense. It's mostly been offense. I mean, we're seeing high scores, but that's just because we're seeing people that you expect to shoot the ball. Who we got?
Yeah.
We got how you say this was name? Nikolai
Nikola
Vukic.
Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic.
14 points, 4 assists, 13 rebounds.
13 rebounds. Ooh, double
6
double.
of 14.
Love it.
And then Pat Bev, shout out to him.
Ugh,
Measly
Pat
3
Bev.
points, 1
3
assist,
points,
and
3
3
rebounds, 1
rebounds.
assist.
And shout out to also the other homie, Alex Caruso, headband man, 9 points.
Defensive monster.
5 fouls though.
5 fouls, but look, 3 blocks, 3 steals. Come on,
yeah,
defensive monster.
Oh no, yeah, he's playing a different game. He's not like the other fruit you were telling me earlier. Oh yeah, he plays a different game. Okay, well I don't see it. So.
You're saying Jared Vanderbilt? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers are trying to replace the hole that Caruso left with Austin Reeves and Jared Vanderbilt. Now, Austin Reeves is a good 2-way player.
Hey,
he's no Alex Caruso.
Oh no, he's not.
Austin Reeves is a much more offensive-minded player, which is great because the Lakers need shooting. But Vanderbilt, it takes 2 guys to replace what Alex Caruso was as a role player for the Lakers. Vanderbilt is more defense. Austin Reeves is more offense. Together, they make Alex Caruso.
Hey, I mean, that's not always a bad thing. Hey, that's a Moneyball strategy right there. You got to replace them somehow. It doesn't matter if it's 2, 3 guys or 1 guy.
Yeah.
Or 5 guys, which has good burgers, I've heard.
Come on, man. I was so close to making a double-double joke earlier. I resisted, and you have to make this 5 guys joke? Come on, man.
But continue. So Alex Caruso having an okay night. But Who did you
I think
want
you gone
to win
through.
in? Wait, what happened?
Oh, I was gonna say I think you gone through the whole stat line
Oh no,
for
yeah,
the
but I was
Bulls.
gonna ask you, who did you expect to win this game?
Oh, I expected the Bulls to win this game fully from the beginning. I was
Really?
surprised
But
that they were down by so much.
they were trailing
Um,
though. Let me see. Let's go play by
yeah,
play. So the end of the first quarter. Let me see. The the hell? The stat line's too long. Hold on. Sorry, Danny. Okay, so Chicago's on the left.
it's all
Okay.
good.
Um, Chicago is trailing by 5 going into the second. It was 28-3,
Yep.
and then
Toronto turns it up.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. 'Cause it was 58-47. I'm like, okay, they have like
Yep.
almost 10-point lead. I think they could hold on to it because they're Toronto. They're a decent team. And then I don't know what happened.
Yep. And the
I
the
think
third quarter was close. Um, the lead was maintained
okay, it
by
was
by Toronto.
66-49
Yeah.
in the third.
Yeah. And but you forget that Chicago is a fourth quarter team. You have Zach Levine who can drop 20 in the fourth easily. DeMar DeRozan missed their fourth quarter, um, handing off that mantle to De'Aaron Fox this season. He can turn it on whenever. The fourth quarter is really when the Bulls get cooking. But I fully expected this Bulls team to kind of dominate um, the Raptors. Vucevic is bigger than Jakob Poeltl. I thought he would do much better than he did um, inside. I think Toronto has much more firepower. Pascal Siakam is always a bucket. You know, he's so consistent that you expect him to drop above 25 almost every night. Fred VanVleet can catch fire at any time. OG Anunoby can drop so many points. Scotty Barnes is a solid player. Um, they have much more firepower than the Chicago Bulls, but I just expected the Bulls to pull out today. DeMar DeRozan is too solid to miss another playoff series or to miss a playoff series. They made it in last year. Zach Levine, too much of a bucket to miss out. And they really had to prove that this big three in DeMar, Levine, and Vucevic could do something. It was supposed to be a big four with Lonzo, but they have to produce while Lonzo was out. Hopefully, Lonzo is able to return. Oh my god, I can't believe he's going to be out a whole season again. But
That sucks.
yeah, I mean, man, I wish DeMar DeRozan had came to LA. We would have could have been the fourth seed, man.
Bruh.
LA could
Hey,
have
we
been the
got
fourth seed.
D'Lo. We
Oh
got
my god,
D'Lo. We got
come on.
D'Lo. Chill,
You want
bro.
D'Lo over DeMar?
No, but D'Lo's decent. He's better
Oh
than what we
come
had
on.
before. He's better than Westbrook. Come on. All
Yeah,
we needed like a more semi-consistent player. You have
DeMar was supposed to come
you
before
have
Westbrook came to
you have
LA.
bro. You have AR playing. Yo, you had AR jumping into a bunch of models, turning him
Yeah,
into a man,
yeah.
and him playing lights out.
Imagine this,
Schroeder,
Robert.
I feel
Imagine this. Instead of LeBron choosing Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan came to LA nearly 2 seasons ago. The LA Lakers make it to the playoffs last year. Maybe they get first round exit. Oh well. This year they regroup. They get a handful. They're not going to get everyone that they got this year, but they get a handful of other players. They get Jared Vanderbilt. Let's say they still get Rui Hachimura. They trade away a couple of guys. Maybe they get uh maybe they keep Thomas Bryant, right? The Lakers would be so scary with DeMar in the starting lineup instead of D'Lo. With Thomas Bryant as a backup big and Rui Hachimura coming in as a new starter, come on, man. The Lakers would have been 14, I think, easily if they had that lineup.
Okay. I mean, I get your point. I mean that's what the cards were dealt. So I'm just speaking off what we
My
had.
God.
Fool.
Le GM strikes again. Damn, man.
Oh
I'm so
yes,
disappointed that
I
how could
know.
you choose Westbrook over DeMar?
I think they wanted some more speed, and I think he didn't. I think he didn't expect Westbrook to be wanting to be shooting a lot. And
Yeah.
yeah, it
I mean,
didn't work. It didn't work out.
yeah, I guess we were lacking Dennis Schroeder. If Dennis Schroeder was already in the equation, um, it would have been an easy DeMar pick. But
Yeah,
oh well, it is what it is.
but getting back into this Raptors game. It looks like what happened was very late into the third quarter, the Raptors just stopped shooting and what a lead that went from 80 to 69. Hey, look at that. It came up again. Um
Oh my god.
the Raptors just similar to the Wolves just kind of went cold cuz at in the third
Yeah.
quarter it was 81 to 72 and then that's
Yep.
where the game kind I think the game kind of just flipped. Cuz yeah, the Bulls kept it close at a 10 point lead. It was like 87 to 77, 87 79, 87 82, 87 83, 89 84, 89 86, 89 88, and then literally halfway through the fourth, the Bulls tie it up. Alex Caruso at minute 6:26 makes a 3-point jumper. Patrick Beverly assists 91 to 91 at that point in the quarter. And that's where they were just both basically going back and forth. And according to the stat line, I think the Raptors took the lead a little bit again for a bit, like a split second. But then the Bulls started running away with it, 102 to 100, 104 to 100, and yeah, the ending score was what was it 109 to 105. So
Yep.
yeah, I think the Raptors could have won it, but they let it slip out of their hands.
Yeah, they definitely did. But even if they did win, early first round exit for the Raptors, you know, they have no bench. It'd be a miracle for Gary Trent Jr. to come off the bench and drop 20. Um, Especially I think in a slower game.
Drop
The Raptor,
20, like if that's easy, Danny. Drop
yeah,
20.
that's what I'm saying. It'd be a miracle for him to do it. It's I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but that's what they would need to win against. Let's say they come out. Let's say they had beaten the Bulls and they beat the Heat and they secured that 8th seed. They have to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Come on, I mean, look at how many minutes their team played or um their players played. Their starting five all played 40 minutes apiece. 42, 42, 36, 40, 42. Like this, it's not sustainable. You can't have players play the entirety of the game for a whole 7 game series, give them less than a week rest, and then have them do it again. Like this, it's ridiculous. Even within a series with travel time and all that stuff, it's too much for a starting five to play these amount of minutes.
Why, thank you, Danny, for that very insightful information.
You're welcome.
But yeah, currently there is one more playing game happening at this moment, which we don't have to
Yep.
go into detail as is happening during this recording. Right now in the second quarter, the Thunder are up 55 to 53 over the Pelicans. Danny, very quickly, who do you think is going to win this game, and who do you want to win this game?
I think the Pelicans are going to pull this out. I like this Oklahoma team, but I think the Pelicans are just the better team. They got a lot more defensive minded players, a lot more experience. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. Uh, I wish Zion would come back. Man, I don't even know where he's standing uh, in terms of a return. But uh, yeah, in terms of defensive players, Herb Jones, uh, Jose Alvarado. Uh, yeah, I just really like this Pelican team. The Thunder team I really like as well. What a young team. The Thunder have such a bright future, but it's not their time yet. They'll make a playoff run when when it's ready. Maybe Chet Holmgren will come back next season. Um, Maybe they'll get a great amount of they need a true center um, to really make them a scary team. And maybe that's what they'll pick up in the draft this year with their infinite amount of draft picks. But we'll see what they do. But they're a long team, a lot of players with upside. Jalen Williams, a rookie this year that made an argument for a couple of rookie of the year votes. Josh Giddey, what a great player, great passer, great vision, great court vision. Um, Shea, my vote for most improved player of the year. Um, yeah, they got a great team. Lou Dort. Uh, well, we'll see. We'll see what they do.
That
In the
that
offseason.
Dort guy has 20 points right now, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. This Thunder team has such a bright future. All of their players can just drop double digits so easily. And really, they got so much firepower, man. Man, that team has such a bright. They're going to be a real scary team in a year or two. Um, yeah, they got a great bright future. But
Oh,
to me, the Pelicans have this in the bag. I mean, Brandon
the
Ingram,
Pelicans
CJ
have just
McCollum,
taken the lead.
Jonas Valanciunas. Like, come on, how can you argue? The Pelicans not win this game. Jonas Valanciunas is the biggest problem for this Pelicans team, or excuse me, for this Thunder team. He's a true center. He's a big guy. He gets boards. That's all he really does. Gets
Wait,
boards and
who?
puts back. Jonas Valanciunas, the center
Jonas?
for the New Orleans Pelicans.
I'm
He's
look.
standing at 11 points,
Oh, I
12
thought you said the
rebounds,
Thunder. I was like, who?
2
Okay,
assists.
okay.
No. Um, but
He's 30 years old.
yeah, he's a great player.
That's cool.
Um,
The Pelicans are up 63 to 57 with 25 seconds left in the second, going into the halftime. So hopefully, do you say you want the Pelicans to win?
the I know the Pelicans are gonna win.
Okay, well, you better hope that stays true as of this recording, Danny. If not,
Yeah,
you're gonna look like a damn fool.
yeah. I come on. I know they're gonna win.
Okay, bro, we just saw two teams give up the lead half in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That's not what this New Orleans team is. With
All right,
Brandon
halftime.
Ingram in there. Come on.
Halftime, 63-57.
Brandon Ingram is another one of those fourth quarter guys. He is that guy. Come on.
You're
I mean,
not that
Shea
guy,
is that
pal.
guy too.
You're not that guy, pal. But I mean, if you say
Oh
so, I
man.
have to believe you. You're more of a basketball guy than I am, so I have to defer
Yeah.
to whatever you say.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
so far they've really been giving it to Shea. I mean, just watching a little bit of this game, in the background as we've been recording this podcast. It's a pretty messy game. The Oklahoma City Thunder are kind of showing their immaturity. They're showing that they're still a young team. Shea's getting really frustrated. They're really doing a good job of hounding him defensively. He's at 30% from the field thus far, with only 7 points heading into the half. Lou Dort picking up the slack. He's 75% from the field. He's 4 from 6 from 3, with 20 points. But they've really got to pick it up if they want, a sliver of a hope, to play the Timberwolves to make it into that 8th seed spot. But to me, I mean, the Pelicans got this in the bag. All their starters are contributing solidly. They still got a half all the players on the bench. Josh Richardson's great. Marshall is great. Jackson Hayes, another great defensive type of player. Josh Richardson, great pickup from San Antonio. Yeah, the Pelicans got this in the bag. Just to say.
okay. But you have anything else to add upon this game that is still happening as of this recording, or can we move on now?
No, nothing else to this game. I know the Pelicans are going to win. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
they'll likely win that Timberwolves matchup too. I bet.
okay. All right. Well, we've talked about all the playing games. Of course, we're not telepathic or psychic, so we can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. But very quickly, Danny, because I know we've gone on for a bit, and like I said, we can't tell the future until it happens, and we'll for sure go over all of this either on a regular rambling runoff, or we'll do another podium show of some kind for the NBA.
Yeah.
If you could very quickly, I'll go through these in very quick recession. In a few words, who would win in the West in the playoffs between the 4th and the 5th seed of the Suns and the Clippers?
I think the Suns got this. I mean, it's very contingent on if Paul George is able to return. But I think with KD, the Suns stay healthy. I think the Suns got that in the bag.
Yeah, I would also agree the Suns as well. But if the Suns aren't playing how they were a couple years ago, I'd be worried that the Clippers will steal this one. But yeah, I feel like the Suns, if they're turning it on, no pun intended, because they're the Suns. But yeah, if they're gonna turn it on, they should defeat these guys in easy fashion. But if they're gonna be slipping around and not working well together, then I think the Clippers will steal it. In the
Yep.
East, between the fourth and the fifth seed, who do you have in that one?
I got the Cavs. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, uh, Evan Mobley. They got a great young squad. Not to say that the Knicks don't. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett. They got a great squad, but I think the Cavs they're just solid.
I want to say I agree with you. I know the
Wow, you're gonna pick
homie.
the Knicks?
I know the homie Alex from out of our own end zone, who I've worked with. He was very adamant. He's a Midwestern guy. He was all
Yeah.
in on Donovan Mitchell.
Oh yeah, going to
But
Cleveland.
I think, and like how you said before, like with the Hawks, they were long overdue. I think the Knicks are going to
Oh,
come out
you think the Knicks
and
didn't take out the Cavs?
shock some people. It's
Yeah.
the Knicks, bro. I mean, all right, it could. All right, I know it's the Knicks. They could fucking trip and fall, and it could all blow up in the face. It could explode like in SpongeBob for no reason.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know. I don't know. I'm looking at the Knicks, man. I'm surprised the Knicks even got this far. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, wouldn't you be worried? I mean, if you have to face the Knicks, who always struggle, wouldn't you be worried?
No. If I'm the
Are you
Cavs,
sure?
no. If I'm the Cavs, this is an easy
This is the perfect easy
gentleman
win.
sweep. Yeah, 4-1.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is an easy. It's an easy sweep for me. Gentleman
Okay,
sweep
who from the Knicks is good?
from the Knicks. Julius Randle is always solid.
There you go.
Jalen Brunson
There you go.
breakout season. RJ Barrett's been a little inconsistent, but he's great. They got a great pickup in the trade deadline with Josh Hart. Manuel Quickly might win Sixth Man of the Year. Quentin Grimes is great. In the last few games, Obi Toppin's been pretty good. Yeah, I mean the Knicks are good. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but I think the Cavs are just. I think they're just a better team.
All right.
They got Jarrett Allen. They got Ricky Rubio on the bench. A great playmaker.
The Cavs have Ricky Rubio on the bench.
Yeah,
And that fool fell off low key though.
he tore his Achilles, man.
Okay, Kobe tore like every part of his leg and his body. He
Yeah,
still
what
can't
happened in
move.
the season after he came back?
I mean,
He wasn't the same Kobe. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but he can still do it.
Yeah.
But he didn't fade away into nothingness.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky Rubio, he
anyway.
just came back this season.
Okay, my bad, chill, bro.
Come on, man.
I
Respect the
said.
Spaniards.
España.
España.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Knicks.
All right.
Going back to the West, third against six, we got a good old
Good old NorCal
California.
battle.
Yeah, go. Yeah, there you go. NorCal Classico
Yeah.
between the Sacramento Kings and the Warriors, in which
This is a tough matchup to call.
I know
man.
it is, because I'm like, because on one hand you have the Warriors who, since like what 2014, 2015, have just undeniably ran the league. I mean, yeah, they had like one or two bad seasons, but it's because everyone got hurt.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that they went to the playoffs like 4 or 5 times in like quick succession.
Yeah.
In the span
I think
of 10 years.
Yeah. I think the only year that they missed it was I think it was the first year of the play-in when they lost to Memphis.
Yeah. And that was just to get
as
into the
an 10 team.
playoffs.
Yeah.
But overall, they've been really consistent on getting to the finals, getting overall long runs into the playoffs.
Yep.
And on the other
But
hand, what were you
the
going to say?
Kings.
Yeah, the Kings.
No. Exactly what you're going to say. The Kings
You
ending
have
a
the
playoff
Sacramento
drought.
Kings. Yeah, ending a playoff drought. Fucking Mike Trout. What the fuck? Sorry, wrong sport. Which, by the way, fun fact, everybody. Everyone knows I love stats. This is the first time all California teams qualify to the playoffs
Ever.
ever, ever. That's crazy, dude.
Yep.
Like, who would ever thunk it? Like, oh, dude, that's insane.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
you have the
most of that
Kings
has been
who,
the Kings who have been in a 16-year playoff drought.
yeah. So because before that it was the Warriors and the
Yep. Yeah.
Clippers, which now
Yep.
it's backwards. But somehow the stars have aligned, and all the California teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
In which,
Which is crazy because that's literally half of the West. Four
yeah,
teams, 4 of 8. It's half of the teams are from California. It's crazy.
California love. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was a clip I saw. I don't know if it was one of the Fox or the ESPN analysts. They asked him who's gonna make the playoffs. So he goes, who like actually are a good contender. He goes Denver, Suns, Clippers, Warriors, Grizzlies, and I don't know if he said T Wolves. And then he's like, oh, I don't know about this last team, but the Lakers. And then
Yeah.
everyone in the comments, can you guess what they were saying, Danny?
Yeah. Slander. It was Lakers slander.
No, there was a team that I didn't mention from this list.
Oh, the Kings.
Yeah, he didn't even mention the Kings, and they were
Yeah,
like
the
in
third
third at the
seed.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's crazy because no one believes it. You can't
Yeah.
believe it. So everyone in the comments on his Instagram video post was like, "Did he just not mention? Did he just mention the Lakers over the Kings?"
Yeah. You know, I think this perception is coming from the Kings having a lackluster defensive showing.
They'll
But
name players as well. I know nobody from
yeah.
them.
What? Demontis
Yeah, I
excuse me.
know we've talked
Demontis
about them
Sabonis,
before, but come on, fool, like be
De'Aaron
honest. Like,
Fox, Kevin
okay,
Herter,
Danny, I've never
Keegan
heard of any of
Murray.
these guys.
Alright, whatever.
No one,
Um,
none of these guys have ever been on a Wheaties box.
no. Actually, Demontis Sabonis might have been on some type of box. He's a great player. Um, but the Kings are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. They had the number one offense in the league for almost the entirety of the season. They are, Mike Brown is really taking this team and made it a Warriors 2.0, uh, with younger guys, younger legs, a hungrier team, a great fan base. They could really go far. Um, and this matchup, this Kings Warriors matchup, is going to be super fun to watch because they're kind of mirrored teams. Last year, I had thought that the Memphis Warriors matchup was going to be really fun right before it started, and it was because it was similarly a mirror matchup where Grizzlies also a great 3-point shooting team, with one big here and there. They play very similar games. The Kings play almost exactly the same game that the Warriors do. It's going to be a 3-point shootout for sure, and it'll be super fun to watch. Don't forget to tune in this Saturday. The first game of this matchup goes down in Sacramento. It's crazy. The Kings tickets were double the price of the Warriors home tickets in the Chase Center for this playoff series.
That's
Can
crazy.
you believe that?
No.
That's insane. Sacramento is hungry for these Kings to win something. So let's see where they can take it.
So who do you have winning it though?
Ooh. I got the Warriors winning. Come on.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say
Experience
the same
over.
thing. I was gonna
Come on.
say I hate to say it. I
Yeah.
love me. I'm American, bro. I love
I
me
can definitely
underdog.
see the upset.
Yeah,
I could see the underdog taking it just as you're saying,
but
but
you have Curry. You have his fellow Splash brother. Like, come
Clay
on, you have a lot of
Thompson,
you have a lot of experience
you
on
got
there,
the
bro.
young man Jordan Poole.
Yeah,
Could
dude.
definitely take a punch. Draymond Green can throw it.
Is
uh,
Swaggy P still on that team?
no,
I know it's been a hot minute, but
yeah,
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to
um,
go with the Warriors. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if I was wrong on this one.
yeah. Oh no, the Kings definitely have a chance to upset the Warriors. Well, it's crazy that that sentence that just came out of my mouth. Upset the Warriors. The Kings are the third seed. The Warriors are the sixth seed. But if Andrew Wiggins comes back for the Warriors, this is gonna be a really tough matchup.
Okay.
We'll see what it is, but um, yeah, I think the Warriors are definitely going to take this. Um,
Okay.
it's it'll be a tougher matchup though because the Kings are one of those great fourth quarter teams as well, which is a great indication of when the playoffs come around, the game slows down. It's a different brand of basketball. But I think the Kings are up for the challenge. Uh, so we'll see what it is. But I got the Warriors for that matchup. You got to ask me in the East, 76ers versus the Nets. It's gonna be the Sixers.
Yes,
Come on,
I know. I was gonna
that's
say
the
that.
easy Sixers.
And why would you say
You want to
that?
run through these last?
No,
That's
yes,
way
of
that we can
course.
jump back to the
Uh,
top.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Lakers
we don't have
Grizzlies.
to. Yeah.
Who do you think?
Um, I'm gonna be a homer. I'm just gonna say the Lakers because I
Yeah,
think John
I got.
Morant may not be all there.
Yeah, I think John Morant is going to drop 20 every game. I
No,
think
yeah,
Jarrett Jackson is going to get frustrated against Anthony Davis. I think Desmond Bain is going to disappear. Dylan Brooks is really going to get his ass handed to him for all the shit that he talks. Um, but yeah, I think the Lakers upset the Grizzlies as a lower seed.
I didn't get to say my Sixers Nets one. Just cut me
Yeah,
off, bro.
you see, you were going to say Sixers. Come on,
Okay, yeah, I was. Only because you
come
told
on.
me.
Yeah.
You said Oladipo, right? I'm like,
Who? What?
he's gonna get. Is that his name?
I mean,
Am I
Joel
forgetting?
Embiid?
OB, there you go. What the fuck am I talking
Oh,
about?
come on.
OB.
Victor Oladipo. Come on, man.
I don't know why. OB, yeah, I think Joel's. He should be playing. He's firing on all cylinders. So yeah, I think
Oh, yeah.
76ers are gonna win.
He should
I
be the
think
MVP.
the Nets are a dumpster fire.
Yeah. You know what?
The Nets are the new Knicks.
But the Nets are in a better place than anyone thought they would be at the end of the trade deadline.
That's true.
They retained the 6th seed. Uh, Mikal Bridges is doing really well. Cam Johnson's doing great there. Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas. When they give him some minutes, he's able to drop a bunch of buckets,
Yeah,
drop a bunch
I've
of
heard of
points.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they got a great foundation to build on. And anybody, they need to make Cam Thompson the star of that team. They need a star. They have a star. They need to start
Yeah.
that man.
He had like 2 30-point games in a row, and he just
Yeah,
disappeared.
he had 3 40-point games when Kyrie sat out. They didn't give him minutes. When they gave him minutes again, he dropped another nearly 40 points. They need to give that man some minutes. He's a great scorer. Sometimes he's a liability on defense, but that's what you got the other guys for. He's a star that doesn't play defense. Okay, everyone else plays great defense. You got the former almost defensive player of the year, Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
You got Nick Claxton, who plays great defense. It's a little bit smaller of a big, but they got a bright future.
Yeah.
What about the Celtics Hawks matchup?
Just to piss you off,
Yeah,
the Celtics.
I know you can say the Celtics. Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
love
like
my
the
Hawks.
Celtics, but I know they're good.
Yeah, I love my Hawks. I'm a home team guy. The Hawks are gonna win. I can't say the Celtics are gonna win. Um, as a smaller Laker fan, Celtics. I hope they lose. I hope that by some freak accident, Jason Tatum gets injured, Jaylen Brown gets injured,
The fuck? You can't
Robert
just.
Williams the third.
What the hell?
Just for the playoffs, though. Spring.
You're a fool.
Just so that my Hawks can win.
All right.
But and then the number 1 seed matchups. I mean, I'm picking the number 1 seeds.
I mean, yeah, I think
Obviously.
so. I mean, the only other game
the
we
Bucks
could.
and then yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's do this. Okay, Heat or Bulls?
It's gonna be the Bulls.
You think so? The Heat are gonna run out of gas, huh? Again.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that
likely.
the Heat have something to prove in this matchup, but I think the Bulls will be able to
play hard defense and shut them down easily, huh?
No, I think they'll be able. I think the Heat are gonna come out strong, and in that game they're gonna pull ahead. But I think the Bulls are gonna be able to bring it back, and then drop some points in the fourth quarter and seal that game out.
Okay, so we both have the Bulls, except we have them winning in different ways.
Yeah.
And then if the Pelicans are gonna win, as you say,
Pelicans
over the T-Wolves.
Yep, Pelicans over T-Wolves.
What?
That's easy.
All right. Yeah. All right. I suppose. I think the Wolves might get their act together if Gobert comes back. So.
Yeah, but you forget that when Gobert and Cat play together, something happens. They both turn their brains off for
Is
whatever
that a
reason. The
thing?
Twin Tower, yeah, it's a thing. They
The
they,
Twin
they
Towers go
both,
kapuya kapuya.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
And
sucks.
because on paper, Cat should be able to play the 4 perfectly, right? But for some reason, he can't do it. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because Gobert is just, if Gobert was an option to pass to, maybe it'd be a different story. But they have a big who's defensive minded, not a real scorer. Maybe if they had Andre Drummond in the middle, who could still put the ball in the. Oh, you know what? Andre Drummond hasn't been able to even do that. Um, Maybe if they have Thomas Bryant in the middle. No, a big who's able to shoot, do what Cat does, but still plays as a real big on the inside. He'd do a lot better. But I got the Pelicans. Jonas Valanciunas is a true big. He knows how to post. He knows how to play defense. He knows how to get boards. I got the Pelicans.
All right, Pelicans over the T-Wolves, and
Yep.
then Nuggets over the Pelicans, correct?
Oh, definitely. Yep.
And then on the
Yeah.
East,
Who do you have?
well, no, I have the T-Wolves,
You got the T-Wolves. Interesting.
and then I have
The
the Nuggets
Nuggets
beating
taking
them.
up the T-Wolves. Yeah.
And on the East, we have the Bulls going against the Bucks, and then the Bucks
That's the
beating the
Bucks.
Bulls.
That's easy. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That
All right. I mean,
that's almost the exact same matchup as last season. In the first round, Bucks versus Bulls. I don't think it was a seeding, but I think it was 3 and 6 last year. But yeah, the Bucks definitely take out the Bulls.
oh, okay. Well then, Danny, I think we've gone through all the games as we can. We're not gonna do any bracketology work tonight
Oh
or today,
no,
as
no.
whenever you're listening
Yeah.
to this
We'll have it
recording.
ready for the next one.
Yeah, so I mean, we could either do a podium show again, or we could just throw it into a regular rambling runoff episode, depending on our scheduling and our availability to watch and analyze some of these games. But do you have anything else to add in regards to the play-in tournament and or the playoffs?
No, I'm just super excited to see what happens. I've been waiting for it all year, all season, I should say. I've been waiting for it since last year. I'm just excited.
Okay. Well, I think that I have nothing else to say. I just hope we have a good competitive games. They're not too sloppy. But yeah, is that everything? That's all you got?
Yep, that's all I got.
All right. Thank you for joining us on this podium show, Danny. Your first ever podium show. How do you feel?
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Yeah, feels good. Feels good to talk about basketball for a long time.
I know I got you. Don't worry. We'll do it again. Hopefully you're somewhere down the line or for the finals, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for joining us on a Rambling Runoff NBA Play-In Tournament Playoff Special. If you want to hear more from us, you can find us at on Twitter at Rambling Runoff, on Instagram at Rambling Runoff, sometimes on TikTok. You can find us on Reddit if you're that extreme. You can find this podcast anywhere: Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music for podcasting. Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. What else are we on, Danny?
We're on Stitcher. We're on
YouTube. There you go.
everything. YouTube.
If
we're
you're on
everything.
YouTube, like the video, subscribe, please. We appreciate it. It goes a long way. And I think that's everything.
Leave
right?
a comment.
Yeah, leave a
Yep.
comment.
Yeah, and rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spotify for podcasters. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. See you guys next time.
I've been your host, Robert Rios, for Danny 10. See ya. Bye.
Peace.